So this is the look that I did today. Ooh, look, Christmas. This is the look that I did today. It is a holiday themed look with the, again, Kat Von D Spellbinding eyeshadow book palette thing. I'm really loving that. I will probably talk about it again in my favorites that are upcoming very soon because November's almost over and it's almost Christmas. So yeah, if you want to see how I achieve this goldy green Christmas eye, please keep on watching. Oh, and the lighting sucks in this video. Like, it kind of sucks right now because it has been cloudy and overcast and rainy since this morning when I was trying to film. So the beginning of the video is kind of bad, and I think I kind of fix it throughout the rest of it. But anyway, if you want to see how to achieve this, please keep on watching. Starting with my clean and moisturized face, I am putting on Benefit's Professional just where I need it, and then I'm using YSL's Youth Liberator foundation, and my shade is in B10. I just put about 3 pumps of that on the back of my hand to start off with, and then kind of stipple it on my face with my Real Techniques Expert Face Brush. Not really sure if I like this foundation brush, just my other one was dirty, so I decided to use this one. And I am stippling and then buffing. And this foundation is really nice. It's really blendable, very easy to apply, and I really, really love this foundation. So now to start concealing, first I am taking MAC's Studio Finish Concealer in the color NW20 to just conceal any blemishes on my face, and I have a ton of those right now, so there will be a lot of concealing with that. Then I'm going in with Rimmel's Wake Me Up Concealer in Very Fair. This is a brightening concealer, so I'm going to use it to highlight the center of my face. Mainly just the center of my forehead, bridge of my nose, Cupid's bow, and the center of my chin. Then I am taking a Real Techniques, I believe this is a deluxe crease brush, and I'm using that to just kind of spread out the concealer so it doesn't get cakey, just make it even. And then I'm using my fingers to make sure it is completely blended and the edges of it are blended into my foundation, and this is what I did on the rest of my face as well. Then using the Instant Age Rewind Concealer in the color Light, I'm going to conceal and highlight under my eyes in one quick step. I really do love this concealer. I like the consistency, just the packaging really bothers me. And I'm going to highlight in the triangular motion, bringing that back to my hairline just to start contouring as well. Then I am setting that with the Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder using my Real Techniques setting brush, per usual. Then I'm using my Clinique Blended Face Powder just to set my face, and I'm just using that on a big fluffy powder brush, making sure to push that over the makeup instead of brushing it over the makeup so everything stays in place. Then I am taking Benefit's Hoola Bronzer on a Real Techniques contour brush to start sculpting out my cheekbones. And when you're doing this, you always want to make sure that you blend upward and not downward. And then you kind of want to think about it as a line from the top of your ear to the corner of your mouth. And you don't really want to go any farther than your pupil. Then I'm taking my Real Techniques multitask brush and going around the perimeter of my face. This just gives a softer contour where you're really just adding a little color back into the skin than actually contouring. Then to contour my nose, I went back to my contour brush, just kind of pressing on the bristles to make it thinner. I'm really blending that out to make it look like a shadow and not bronzer. Then going under my lip, it makes your bottom lip look bigger. Then moving on to brows, I am using the Urban Decay Brow Box in the color Brown Sugar. Once I'm done brushing through my brows with a spoolie, I then take my Real Techniques brow brush with the lightest shade in the box and just begin to fill in really any sparse areas of my brows. Then once I've got that filled in, I go in with the darker shade and just going underneath on the bottom edge of the brow and just kind of feathering that in and up. Then once I have my brows filled in, I go in with the e.l.f. Clear Brow Gel and just set my brows to make sure that they stay in place. Then first off for blush, I am taking Tarte's Amazonian Clay Blush in the color Flush on my Real Techniques blush brush and just lightly dipping that into the blush and then applying it to the apples of my cheeks and just really blending it out. This is a super duper pigmented blush. Then once I've got that on, I'm going in with NARS Orgasm Blush just to blend out that color and add a little bit of a glow to my cheeks. Then as a highlight, same as usual, MAC's Extra Dimension Skin Finish in Double Definition on my Real Techniques setting brush. Top of the cheekbones, center of the forehead, down the bridge of the nose, Cupid's bow, and center of the chin. I prime my lids, and now I'm using the Kat Von D Spellbinding eyeshadow book again. I'm in love with this thing. The first color I'm going to be using is Countess, and I'm going to apply that first with my finger to the lid just to take down the tackiness of the primer, and then I'm going to be blending that all the way up to my eyebrow just for a wash of color from brow bone to lash line. And I'm using a Dome Shadow Brush from Real Techniques just to smooth all that out. Then I'm taking the color Precious on an Urban Decay brush, and I am applying that to my brow bone for my brow bone highlight, which is something I really never do, just because I don't really like it on me, but today I did it. And then I flip the brush around and use the other end to just kind of blend it out and make it look a little more natural. Then I'm going to be taking the color Fallen and applying that with my finger at first all over my mobile lid. I just wanted a really strong wash of color, really just getting the most pigmentation I could get, and I think using these shadows, when you use your finger, you get a serious amount of color payoff. Then I pick up an Urban Decay, just a stiff shader brush, and I use that to kind of blend out the edges a little bit and get that close into the corner of my eye. Then I also run that on the bottom lash line as well, going almost all the way into my inner corner, but I blocked the mirror for most of it. Sorry. Then I go back into the palette and pick up the color Sunset Boulevard, which is just a really true gold color, and I'm going to place that on my tear duct, kind of as my inner corner highlight. And I'm just going to use my finger first to apply it, and then kind of blend it with a stiff shader brush. And also by using the brush, I am making sure that there are no harsh lines where the colors meet and just making sure that the two blend together seamlessly. Next, I am going to be using the color Gunner, which is the dark glittery green in the palette. I really like this color, but I hadn't had an excuse to use it, and this look was the perfect excuse to use it. And I'm going to first start applying that with a Real Techniques shader brush, which is just kind of a short kind of packing brush. And first I decided I needed to blend out that fallen a little bit more, but now I'm taking the green and I'm just applying it into the crease at first just to get the rough shape that I want. Don't worry about being super neat with this because we are going to blend it out here in a second, but I really just wanted to get the color in there. Then I pick up the Real Technique Space Shadow brush and I just start to blend that out. I think I just dropped the palette. And I just really blend that out to, I guess, the smokiness that I want it to be, and just really keep adding color as well, but little by little building it up. Now here I am looking straight ahead into a mirror so I can see what my other eye looks like compared to the one that I'm working on, because you want your eyes to match. So I'm just making sure that there's the same amount of blendedness, I guess, and the green comes up the same amount over the crease, just making sure it matches. Then I'm going back in with the Real Technique shader brush, and on my lower lash line I'm going to add some more of that gunner color. I am applying a little more with the, what is this? This is a Urban Decay brush, that's what that is. Because I wanted it to be a little bit thicker. Apparently there was something wrong. And then I'm just going to smoke it out with that shader brush again. I'm just adding a little more of the gunner on the outer V area just to kind of make it a little bit stronger and more pronounced. Then I'm going back in with that color Countess and just blending out the edges so there's kind of a smooth gradient to no green. Then I'm going to take the color Oddfellow, which is a glittery black, and I'm using my MAC 263 brush to apply that. I'm going to take, and I'm going to use that as my liner on my top lid today. But first I'm really just pushing that into my lashes and making sure I get a solid black line in my lashes. And I am taking that all the way in to the inner corner as well. Then once I get to the outer edge, I am turning the brush around and lining it up with my lower lash line, and then kind of dragging it in short strokes back in to make kind of a smoky cat flick. Then I am taking my shader brush again and picking up Gunner again to blend that line out so it's not so obviously black but has more of a green tone to it. I'm also going in back with my 263 and putting that black really close to the outer corner on my lower lashes as well. Then on my waterline, I'm going to be applying my Teddy Eye Kohl pencil that is getting really tiny. I'm taking that all the way into the inner corner. Then for mascara today, I am using the L'Oreal Voluminous Millions. And then on my lips, I am taking Tarte's Dazzled Lip Surgeon's Crayon, and then applying Clinique's Chubby Stick in oversized orange over the top of that. And then that pretty much completes this look, and I hope you guys enjoyed it, and thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.